And we are streaming. So, back to F1 Manager 22. We are just about to enter the fourth race, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix in Imola, which I believe is a sprint event. So, we'll deal with that as and when that happens. I was looking and seeing whether this would actually suit the track, but apparently it's not going to. There's basically two small slow-speed sections, and based on our current grid performance in terms of car analysis, and this is with our upgrades, we are among the best cars in terms of low-speed cornering here. In fact, if we change to the Ferrari here, the only aspect we beat the Ferraris in is low speed in clean air. If we go to the Red Bulls, then we beat them in low speed in all conditions. So yeah, we have stuff. This also actually is slightly encouraging because we are definitely better than the McLarens. We are definitely better than the AlphaTauris, with the exception of overall top speed. But there's enough areas that we can cover that, and I think we're better than the Alpines as well. Maybe less so. But the Mercedes, the Alpines, and the AlphaTauris are the main cars we're fighting against, with the exception of, I guess, the Mercedes, who I should probably have a check on now. Yeah, so we are a lot better than the Mercedes in dirty air and low speed, but we're not better than them officially. So stuff to work on, and it's how we're going to spend our continuing budget of negative 1.3 million. But hey, hopefully, by going here, we'll actually get some of that money back, because, yeah, I'm feeling good here. I think genuinely we can get ourselves both drivers in the top 10 here with this upgrade we've just put on the car.
The hills of Tuscany are green to the south.
Hello, Egan. We are just doing our sponsor promises. So, oh, did it not do that? Hold on. Yeah, that was yesterday. Did I not set the sponsor targets, or did I just miss the thing? That should have been an email, actually. Okay, there we go. Oh, we need these. All right, so we're going to aim for both drivers in the top 12. And I'm going to say that we are going to reach Q2 with both drivers, because obviously that's what we've already kind of assumed we're going to do. Finishing position. I'm going to say, I honestly feel we can get both drivers in the top 10. So I'm going to then hedge and say top 11. Also, we need a new finishing position streak, so I'm going to say we can get both drivers to finish in the top 11 3 times in a row. Because I think the next few circuits should actually suit us with terms of this. Okay. All being done, all promised. Let's head off. And once again, go through this loading screen. So, promises are made and money will be given to us, we hope. And we can use that to hopefully get some research done on next year's car. Because, you know, next year's car is going to be important. Alright. Usual bits and pieces around this. I've already changed the engine and the... Actually, no. Because I hadn't saved that. We're going to change back to the other engine and the other gearbox. And the main reason for doing this is we don't want our fresh stuff for that. And these are long. Oh dear. Alright. Probably want a high wing angle here, so we'll go with something that looks like that. Nothing to do about what I said or how I said it. Oh yeah, no, in a script you are absolutely on that. But mind you, you have a script to run through, which I find easier. Because I say all sorts of nonsense without a script. In fact, there's about 12 years of evidence to the amount of nonsense that I tend to talk. And yeah, let's also change you back to your practice engine. And your practice gearbox. Okay. And again, high wing angle. Go to a 7.3. We'll up this a little bit and we'll adjust there. Now, are you saying that 90% of your initial recording is fine, or that... I mean, yeah. But, you know, that's the way it goes. Let's up this to 21 laps just because. Alright, and now it's time to watch the dots spin around the screen a bit. So, new underfloor.
Radio check.
On top of our new front wing. So, both of our major performance pieces are on the car. That being said, if they break, we don't have replacements. So, let's hope that they don't. This racetrack is thin, awkward to overtake on, and it's basically Ferrari's test track. Happy Easter! Happy Easter to you too, sir. You love dots, good to hear. Well, dots are what we are watching. Hopefully these dots are at least going to go a little faster than they have been recently with the updates to the car. So the underfloor, I mean the underfloor of the car. So basically the bit that is basically a wooden plank in, or at least that's how it looks when they show the problem of the cars at times. Alright, on the hard tyres, we seem to be holding reasonably well, at least to Perez's time, so that is encouraging. I mean, hey, Mick Schumacher's 8/10. I mean, obviously we're on hard tyres here as well. And the performance gap isn't massive between them on Imola, based on what I remember of the car telling us this a while back. But hey, none of that's important for now. It's just encouraging. Right, we're second out on the hard tyres. We were about 1.5 to 2 seconds down in the first 3 races. So, good improvements. Been a crash. Circuit, okay. But it doesn't involve us, so it's all good.
Contact and several cars involved.
Let's watch.
Okay, here's the Ferrari.
And bonk.
And there's the
Bonk.
hit. And it's crystal clear who was in the wrong there.
Quite so. This is actually my second run through of the game, really. I did my initial run through, I did Alpha Tauri. Not Alpha Tauri. I did Alfa Romeo. And now we're just doing Haas because our overall objective is to make Mick Schumacher the world champion. As much as we can. As much as that is possible. That is our end goal if we can manage it. It might not be possible, but we'll have a go anyway. Alright, call both cars in. And since you are in, let's reconfigure, see where we are. Oversteer is all over the place. We need our traction back. We'll just run with that. Hard tyres, confirm go.
That sounds like
But we're not going to tell you because they don't pay us not to program it. Indeed. Well, they might have given somebody a penalty, I don't know. Alright, let's go for a double click there. The braking stability was optimal, so we'll try and rebalance into that a little bit. Yeah, we'll do that. And I guess I'll put an extra bit of wing on just to... Yeah, that'll do. We'll go with that. And confirm. I thought it was Motorsports Manager. How could I? They look nothing alike. Nope, absolutely nothing alike. I mean, in Motorsport Manager, I could click and spin the track around. And watch from a top-down view. But, I mean, I guess I can do this. Which, admittedly, doesn't do anything right here, but I can do this. Which, if I had slightly better settings on, might look kind of interesting. But anyway, send out. Management game about Formula 1 cars, the other is a management driving game about Formula 1 cars. Absolutely! He's got it in one. Magnussen has locked up.
They've locked up and gone straight on.
Overall, everything seems fine. Now, the good news is I think we only have to do this once, because I think this is a sprint race. So we might actually have a qualifying session to go to right now. No, I promised Agan I would do that for Monaco, and we are. I've just got to buzz my way through this a little bit. But yeah, we're definitely doing Monaco Grand Prix as its own event. In real time. Depressingly, now that the drivers have actually gone out, we are about a second off the pace. But, I mean, yeah. We were looking good initially.
How's the balance?
Okay. Still in the good. We'll keep them out there because there's no point in bringing them back in to change the tyres at this stage. We do need to play dirt free again. This is very true. Who knows? Maybe Dirt 4's free now and we can play that instead. But yeah, Dirt free definitely.
Anything we can help you with?
Alright.
Oh, very good
Shumi's
with
happy
the
with the car.
Okay, good.
And we'll just bust the end because there's not point of that. Oh, absolutely. Okie day. No, it is a typical race. For some reason, I thought this was a sprint event. Maybe it's... When was the first sprint event? I don't know. Maybe I'm sure they've implemented them because I remember them being a thing. Alright. So we've moved the braking stability slightly off and it's not quite worked for us. Let's move the rear wing angle down a bit. Adjust that. Okay. Find some way to adjust this. Downside with knowing that's optimal is that I don't really want to move off of it. Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll readjust back to here, and then endless tinkering to get no difference. Basically what we're up to at the moment. Actually, let's just revert. We've oh no, go. All right. Slight adjustment in rear angle. Actually, let's go double, and then we can use that to kick this back in range a little bit more, and then nope. Because I'm on the limit of the toe out, I can't actually. That kind of does that, and then nope. Sure, I might have ruined everything, but let's go with that anyway. Medium, 20 laps, and let's see how that goes. Right, you've gone worse, so that's fine. We can revert to our best setup. And let's go the other way, but obviously moving the traction back a couple of clicks. Okay. We will try that. And now we watch the dots go round yet again.
Radio check.
Okay, so immediately 1.2, 1.5 of the pace. We can still earn points. We're definitely going for points here. I definitely need that double points finish. Especially after we ruined Schumacher's race last time. Okay, Mick just went up to P9.
We've just had a car run wide.
See, I take 6th for 11th as a finish as a starting position. And that does seem to reflect on where the car should be, although Alonso's massively outperforming at Alpine.
I think someone's run wide.
Or maybe not, we're on an 8th. Alright, let's call you in for a change. Oh, this is a pain, isn't it? Alright. Let's just go with that. See if it's going to be good enough. Apparently the tyres will last long enough, so let's just send you back out again on the mediums. And if it doesn't work, oh well.
How is the balance? How's the balance?
We've made the car worse if it's reporting good.
It was okay.
Yep, understood, Mick, understood.
Alright, let's revert. Literally just adjust the right wing, the rear wing angle a little bit, and we're going to go out like that, I think. We're on to small adjustments at this stage now that we're in the 80s.
Someone's run wide.
Now the tyres will hold on for a long while, so that's good to know. Probably a one-stop then for the actual event.
I locked up.
Oh,
Let's
God
take a
darn it.
closer look. Right, watch this. There's Schumacher.
I have a feeling that's going to
Clearly
be...
something went very, very wrong. The team are really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
Are you
Alright,
okay,
pit,
Nick?
and time for some repairs. Okay, well, let's put on a set of softs for him once we're done with that. So, major damage to the front wing. Good news is we do have a replacement, so we will go with that. Nothing else was damaged, so that's thankful. Because we only had spare front wings. We didn't really have spare underfloors if that had got damaged. Well, the setup, you don't need to really worry about. That, nothing really was learned from that, so off we go. Apparently a minute to change the front wing. That's not F1 standard. Might have been because I was running him too close to Magnussen, actually. But it is the first mistake that has happened from one of my drivers thus far. Probably. That's probably true of the race as well, actually, come to that. Wait, I repaired that. Oh, it's minor chassis damage, but we can't do anything about that right now. Well, you'll have to live with that. At least until we get a repair. No, 118.6s. He's still lapping okay.
Did someone run wide there?
And again, not point in just ending this as is. We'll just bring you in. It's fine, don't worry about it.
What's the situation?
What are we looking at? Reasonable. Actually, we will actually send him back out, but we'll send him out as is, rather than waste time. Give him that little bit of additional track knowledge. Meanwhile, how's Shimi doing?
How was the balance?
Pretty happy with things.
For now, no. It feels really good.
Okay, understood.
On to practice 3.
Welcome back as we continue.
Okay, so setup's at 49. Did we have a... No, we don't. We do have a spare chassis, but I think he's using it, so that's fine. So it's now showing no damage, so we've used that up. Confidence seems pretty good. I'm tempted to just flick the front wing angle back one space and see... Actually, did we not do that to try this? It'd be nice if it remembered your previous setups, but we're going to flick that back one space, and I think that might just reverse what we've already done. But still, I don't have anything else I need to do particularly. Maybe that. Run plan will be 18 laps on a set of softs. And 18 laps on a set of softs for you as well. So... Yep, that looks pretty good. Let's do one click of front wing and see if we can get you into the 80s. Meanwhile, everything seems fine. Let's go. Alright, Schumacher out first. We'll wait 3 seconds and then we'll throw Magnussen out. Okay. Let's see what we can actually do on a clear track with a bunch of fuel in the car, missingly, but you know. 19 O's. Upgraded to 18 9s, and... Okay, so competing with Zhou at the moment. Hamilton's slower than us. Magnus is still top. It's all good. I mean, we're beating a Ferrari, we're beating a Mercedes. Being both Mercedes, actually, with that time. Okay, so we're in reasonable shape here, I think. Admittingly, you know, we're going to find out the... No, they are actually on softs. Yeah. Again, this means nothing. It's all about the quality laps, but you know, we might actually have a shot at hitting our targets here. I think Schumacher can comfortably be top 12. And I think we established our car should be better than the Alpines. The only thing they've got on this is straight line speed, but they do have a lot of it. So what happened to Magnussen? It's almost as if he had a bunch of times exhausted, and now, yeah. Oh well. Reconfigure. Send you out on a new set of softs, and mostly there. Let's just send you out. Might bring both of them back in once we actually have the knowledge sorted out. Just see if we can get a slight improvement.
We've just had a crash on the track.
Latifi's crashed. Sad news for everybody involved.
Who's running wide there?
Science running wide, not a problem. Science can actually crash out and just not have a car for the next phase qualifying. That's one more position. Oh, also would help if I sent them out.
Kev, how's the balance?
Yeah, I'll just send them. I'll just keep them out. Actually, there's not much need to do anything further.
How is the balance?
The car was great.
He says,
really good.
thinking about it. Well, nah,
Understood,
well,
mate.
we can go back to Schumacher's Schumacher's fine though. All right, reconfigure. So let's try that. We're going to be even 90 for track knowledge, 95 for part knowledge, so should all be good.
That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
Oh, Verstappen pushing hard and going wide, and is only about 7-8 tenths ahead of us. That being said, it looks like Ferrari are going to be top on the Ferrari test track. And Schumacher is going faster than Magnussen right now.
I think we've had a car run wide.
Alright, not much we can really do with Schumacher, so we'll just leave him as is for the moment. And we are done. Alright, on to qualifying. So apparently our setup confidence isn't quite set up yet, but that's fine. We can adjust that. Continue. So we have 3 new sets of boots, and hopefully we're not going to need to use a second to get out of this part of it. We will revert to our best setup with Magnussen, and I am pretty much okay with the rest of that. Okay. Let's go. Yep, thank you very much. Okay, so we're not going straight out. We're going to kind of
Kevin.
wait for a rival, and then we might follow them. Maybe. Could also just wait for the first set of runners to go out and then try to take advantage of that later. Oh, you know what? Let's just go. Send out Magnussen. Let's just go. I like getting 2 runs in. I'm not in the mood to wait around. If we get screwed up by this, we get screwed up by this. We have Snowder and Latifi behind us. Verstappen's going to get in our way. Schumacher is locked up, and oh boy. Well, wish we'd have put another lap in, but that's fine. Means we're now going to send Schumacher out at the end, probably on new tyres to make sure of things. Ouch. Yeah, so we were screwed up by Verstappen. That's my reasoning here. Alright, reconfigure for a new set. I think Magnussen would be fine on his old set, but Schumacher's going to need it. Alright, we'll let the track quiet down. We will wait until I suppose 3 minutes to go would be fine. Alright, shimmy, let's go. Pressure on, sir. Yeah, Magnussen does need a lap as well, but we'll send him out after everybody else. Yep, absolutely. Alright, let's see how it goes for Schumacher. So he is definitely going to get a clean run in. You know, as long as he doesn't catch up to Magnussen. Okay, 23.8. We have no idea how good that is in comparison to everybody else at the moment. It's no surprise he's got a better time, but, you know. Oh, we might catch Magnussen. No, he'll be alright. 16 seconds. Yeah, we're going to get across the line fine. So, Magnussen does get to start his lap. Schumacher goes P8. That's okay. Obviously, we're expecting other people to improve, but that seems good enough. Alright, Magnussen. Improvement to the first sector and is faster than Schumacher. We just need to see a bunch of flags underneath Schumacher and we know we're okay. Ricardo, Gasly did get an improvement in. Magnussen, double improvement. There's no reason why he shouldn't make it. Okay, Schumacher's through. Magnussen got 8th. Okay, absolutely fine. The only downside of this is Schumacher did have to use up 2 sets of tyres here, but he was unlikely to make it through to Q3 anyway, but his chances are slim. Okay. Let's go again. Actually, before we do that, you're going to go on these tyres, at least for your first run, and Magnussen is also going to go on a set of worn tyres. Because we want to save 2 sets of tyres for Magnussen here. And we are just going to go straight out. If we get blocked, we get blocked. But good. Let's do it. Come on, nobody come out, nobody come out, nobody come out, nobody come out. Alright, we've got a clean run with both our drivers. These are scrubbed runs, so I wasn't going to be too upset if we didn't get anything good out of that. 1.1, 1.3 off the pace. On worn tyres, that's not too bad. Reconfigure. We are actually going to put Schumacher on his new tyres because obviously we want to maximise his chance of getting to Q3. So, let's see. Joe and Bottas are quite slow. They might get ahead of us. The Mercedes have gone slow. Perez will get ahead of us. Norris knock on, maybe. I mean, I would take this right now. 5th and away. Alright. Off Schumacher goes. And then we'll put Magnussen out as the very last runner. If we can do this. Just keep the eye on where Hamilton is. Oh, actually, yeah. Nope, we're alright. Wait until we see the clear dot. Go. Alright, so we're right behind Bottas, which may or may not be a good thing, but hey. Alright, Shimmy, let's see what you can do here. You've got the chance to knock Hamilton out of Q1. Q3 rather, so let's see. 23.8 an improvement. 1:16.7 is our best time at the moment. Shoo me, shoo me, shoo me. 26.8. Round the final corner. A good improvement would be nice here. He doesn't improve on his time. That's slower. Yeah, that was a slower lap. Darn. Well, Magnussen's on a faster lap. Norris is finished. Gasly does knock Mick Schumacher out at this point. Magnussen needs a slight jump. 10th. Stays at 9th. Okay, Magnussen takes it to Q3. Alright, nothing we can do about that. Mick Schumacher qualifies 14th. Okay, so we have one flying run to try and get Magnussen as high up the starting grid as possible, but he's going to start in the top 10. So if we look at the configuration here, we do have 2 sets of fresh soft tyres. I'm actually going to go onto the older set, and we're going to do a lap with those, and I'm going to save one new set for the race. But we'll go out the moment that we can here, just set at a time. You know, just in case something happens. Yellow cards and, you know, crashes, yellow flags, sessions being stopped can happen. So getting the time in now might be useful. It's also 40% chance of rain, apparently, which is interesting. If accurate. Alright, Bottas, you're going to slow our lap time up, aren't you? I can just see it now. Russell's time has been ruined, so that's good. 1:16.5. So that's 2 tenths faster than he did last time. Russell, however, is quicker. Well, that was our sort of banker in any case, so we're okay with this. Technically, we could make 3 runs of this, but I'd prefer to save the fresh set of softs for the race. Ultimately, not expecting to finish much higher than 7th, even in an optimal position, so... But I would love to finish him up with Hamilton. Or Perez, actually, come to that. Also, nearly ran my time out. Yeah, let's go. Right behind Perez. Let's see if we can move ourselves up the grid. If not, our overall goal is probably 7th from this race anyway, so... Get ourselves however many points we actually get for this. Speed time on, and lap is live. It'd be nice if you were to catch up Perez. Like, well, it wouldn't be because actually we would lose grip. But you know, the sentiment is there. We want to go faster than Perez. Ocon beat us. Oh, that put it down to 10th. Come on. We don't want this to stand. Oh. Well, okay. Qualifying, not our strong point, apparently, but that's fine. Our superior yet inferior strategies will get us up in positions.
The fight is out. It's race day.
Yeah, I said both drivers, didn't I? They wanted both drivers there. No, Haas is an actual team. It's the American team, actually, if I remember rightly. Okay, well, we got a little bit of a reward, but we did miss out. We're losing out because, unfortunately, we didn't hit the qualifying position with both drivers. I wanted 12th. Schumacher let us down a little bit there. What do we guarantee for slot here? Gain a position. You know what? Let's go for this. I think we can get 12th and 8th. We just need one of the drivers ahead of us to, finish and, or one of our drivers to not finish. We did finish the qualifying streak rewards, so we do hit 500,000 in terms of rewards anyway, so we can gamble a little bit. Alright, strategy time. So, we know the track is this is pretty much a one-stop race. Although, for some reason, it wants to try and put Schumacher on a two-stop race. I am probably quite happy to go and do something like this, in truth. We do have to use 2 different compounds. That is a rule. So, something like that would be probably fine. Versus that, can we go medium into soft? Is that at all possible? It reckons it's a lot slower, so we're probably not doing that. Could go medium to hard and just not spend any time on the worst tyre as much as we can. So maybe something like that. I think this is fine though. We'll do that. One other thing to make sure of is that we change back to our race engine and our race gearbox. And also, this time, we're going to remember to take some fuel out of the car. 2 laps worth of fuel has gone. On both drivers. Will this make a difference? Probably not. Right then. So we have a brand new set of softs, which in theory can go a little longer than everybody else's. We would hope. So, can we go... Let's edit this. I want to go soft into hard. So something like this for the race then. I mean, that seems pretty good. It's faster than the other strategy that's been listed as well. So, yeah, I think this is what we try. No way we can make a medium run that long, is there? Almost certainly, maybe? Actually. It's 10 seconds slower, but it's worth considering as a backup option, so that's fine. Alright, so I think we're pretty set up with this. Let's go hard push and overtake at the start. And let's just go overtake at the start for you. Alright, let's begin.
Now we should have good weather for the race, and that will be welcome news for the teams.
I don't know, I think wet weather was definitely... Yeah, no, that's good news for us.
Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Alright, following Magnussen. Let's see what he can do off the start. Do not lose the position to Ocon. Gain a position over Bottas, that is fine. Hopefully. Do not let him get past you, and if you can, get past him. Yes! Ahead of Russell. On the back of Hamilton. This is where we want to be. Schumacher is in 14th place. We're actually going to... This feels like it's a horrible place to try and overtake on, but equally, that actually is probably good for us. Alright, race has settled down a little bit. Let's just go into this. So we need to stick right behind Hamilton and hopefully build up that second gap to Russell so that he doesn't get a DRS tow on us in a couple of laps' time. Also, Hamilton is kind of stuck behind Alonso, which is possibly helping us here. Because I think we're as fast as Alonso in terms of car ability. His car's just better in a straight line. We're better at slow speed cornering, which is where we are now. And no, not able to overtake in slow speed. Meanwhile, Schumacher is pushing, but as you can see, this is sort of a light Swiss technical circuit. Overtaking is not easy around here. Not about DRS assistance, which, if I remember the race rightly, was far too powerful. But hey, goodness is we're sticking with it, and I think we can go down to normal deployment now.
DRS enabled, DRS enabled.
So the DRS straight is this, is the start-finish straight, so probably not going to get any major benefit out of it for this lap unless we are in range, which we should be in fairness, next time. Downside is, of course, Hamilton will get DRS as well because he's within range of Alonso. However, we should both hopefully get past Alonso. While Schumacher is still P14 right behind Norris, but hopefully again we can start chaining ourselves forward a little bit. Just getting ourselves to the front of the queue, and then we can start pushing. Hopefully. And of course, Schumacher's saving fuel. I mean, we took 2 laps of fuel out of the car, and he's already 2 laps up. Okay, so Hamilton passed Alonso. We now just have to try and stay with him, and hope to not lose position to Russell behind us. And Bottas, of course. But yeah, Hamilton's just immediately escaping into the distance. Alright, come on, K-Mag. Into the last corner. He's close enough. DRS. Slingshot past him. Our DRS is not as powerful as other cars. And that has hurt us there. Because the Alpine's good in a straight line. Darn it. Alright. Might have to do some shenanigans here. Let's go to high fuel usage. And I don't want to push the tyres because he's a bit marginal on them. Meanwhile, Shimi. Let's start pushing a little harder if we can here. Use a bit more fuel. See if we can sneak past him on the DRS straight. Alright, this time, Alonso doesn't have DRS. We do, and we're burning fuel to make sure this overtake happens. There we go. And we should be faster through the rest of the track, I think, so hopefully we'll pull that second out. And this is where we want to be aggressive and either get to Hamilton, or at least get a second clear of Alonso before Russell gets through. Well, we're in range of Hamilton, so that's actually achievement kind of done there. So we'll at least have DRS as well. Meanwhile, not able to make that work, are you? Alright, let's start harvesting with Schumacher. Oh, I say not able to make that work. You nearly made an overtake at that point of the track, which is probably not where you're supposed to overtake on this circuit. This is kind of the only overtaking spot. Oh, Gasly's just completely fallen off. He must have an issue. Or he's just had or he's gone wide or whatever. Except the game's not told me he's gone wide. Oh well. Magnussen, P6, right behind Hamilton. With a train of cars behind him as well. I mean, we can overtake Hamilton in theory. I'm not sure if it's going to do us a lot of good, but... But it's not the end of the world if we're at the front of this train and try and pull away. Alright, Schumacher's done enough harvesting. We're going to harvest with Magnussen now. Possibly a bit risky, but... in the slower sections of this track, probably worthwhile. As long as we stay within range of Hamilton, we'll have DRS and shouldn't be able to overtake us. Hopefully not. We're pushing a moment. It's fine. We're saving to get the battery back up. We're going to actually attack next lap. We're still in range of Hamilton here. We're not losing anything. We're just trying to conserve a bit. Especially as our fuel is a bit all over the place. Okay, now we might have to actually deploy again because he's starting to pull away a bit. And if he gets that second gap, then suddenly we're in trouble. Go on, wets. I mean, it's an interesting strategy, Egan. I don't think it's one of your better ones. And now we're back to here. We can harvest again. It's the last thing they'll expect. It's the last thing they'll expect because currently we have a 25% chance of rain in the next lap or two. Darn, Hamilton keeps trying to pull them into a true sense of security. Okay, that's the second, so that is a problem. We might now be in trouble. Yep. And he's managed to... Wow, we just completely slowed down.
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
This is Imola, yeah. I'd like to conserve fuel, but we're just going to lose... We're going to lose Alonso if we do that. Meanwhile, how's Shimi doing? Back behind Norris, and... Yeah, the Zhou DRS train. That being said, I think he might be making a position up here. Maybe. But darn, I lack a straight line speed. I mean, again, we kind of leaned into our car focus here a little, but our car is a slow speed traction monster. It's not good at high speed, and doesn't have a good top speed right now. But there or thereabouts. All right, Alonso doesn't have DRS. We do. We should get past him again here. There we go. Actually, let's have Magnussen... I was going to say Magnussen conserve, but actually he's managing to pull reasonably well. So let's...
That's a new race position for Haas.
Let's keep at it. If it's advantageous to us if we can catch Hamilton. It's advantageous to us if we can pull the gap to Alonso. And if we can't, then we might start conserving fuel and seeing if we can work other strategies out. Meanwhile, tyres are mostly on strategy. Alright, come on, Shumi. Is this DRS not working? Let's have him drive in clean air for a bit if he can. Actually, no, let's not worry too much about that. I was just seeing if we had any issues there. But no, he's just unable to make it past right now. Alright, harvest and... Where are you, Magnussen, at the moment? You are leading a train of cars. Got it. Harvest as well. It's alright if one of them gets past. We can't keep up with Hamilton. So we're just going to try and go slowly. Save fuel. Save battery. Slow up the field a bit. Annoy everybody. And then go. I mean, we've had two that I've noticed, but yeah, maybe. We haven't had a driver completely crash themselves out of the race just yet that I've noticed. Alright, now we need to neutral this. So Alonso might get past us here. He might not. Doesn't appear to. Okay. And now that we're back to here, we'll start conserving. And I think we're okay with the battery as it is at the moment. So, meanwhile, because I hadn't checked this, we're the only driver on soft tyres versus everybody else here, so we're on the alternate strategy. Everybody else is going to go quite long. We're going to go on to new tyres soon-ish. Although Stroll's now in. Stroll must have been on softs as well, or he's just had a problem. Alright, back on the main straight. We've gone defensive against Alonso, and it appears to have worked. No, it hasn't. It's not worked at all. Darn it.
Alpine just advanced.
What I guess is slightly concerning is that Magnussen's softs aren't lasting that much longer than Hamilton, than Schumacher's hards, but I mean, Magnussen's softs were a brand new set, so there is that. Also, this could be a problem if we don't have DRS here. We got DRS, thankfully. And now we're on the back of Alonso. We can save fuel and keep Russell behind us. And having a full battery for when we go into the pit stops is probably going to be a good thing. Especially if we end up in traffic anywhere. Although there's a nice gap kind of building up here. Vettel 15 seconds behind Tsunoda. That's where we're currently pitting into, so we should be able to push and get the hammer down. Just, yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to necessarily get past Alonso there, although admittedly we have. I still want to conserve fuel, though. I don't think we're in a battle to really, you know, gain that second gap. What we're really trying to do is just keep our situation under control and give us the best advantage going in. Our pit window is about to open. Alright, back down to 0.1 so we can go neutral and carry on. Meanwhile, Mick Schumacher has been staring at Norris for what seems like the entire race. The difficulty is they both have DRS, and unfortunately, we're not as quick in a straight line as almost every other car on the field. Good news is now we're looking at Ocon rather than Norris. Alright, safety car about now wouldn't be the end of the world for us here. Because a lot of the hard drivers would then have to go on to something other than a hard tyre. Because you've got to use both tyre types, or at least two different tyre types. We, on the other hand, can go straight onto hards with both our drivers. And that's going to screw up at least a few races ahead of us and behind us, so that being said, we need a safety car now if that's going to happen. Alright, let's go a little more aggressive on these tyres. Let's cook them a little bit, see if we can force some pace. Honestly, if we could break the second toe here and just pit at that point, that's probably the best we can do, but if not, it's fine. Just get us some clear air for a little bit. Oh, I was so hopeful then, because that would have been perfect. Vettel just running wide, not a problem for us. Okay, pit options. So we're going straight onto the hard tyre. Nothing needs to be replaced. We're just going to pit and lose 29 seconds.
Box, Kevin, box.
But we're going to go attack this lap.
Push as much much as you can.
And don't let that Alpine through if you can avoid it. There we go. Alright, how long for Schumacher? Schumacher's pit window opens in 3 laps, but I think it's fine. The good news is we could always pit him as soon as the window starts, on the basis that, you know, he's currently being held up, or at least I believe he's being held up. As it turns out, he's not, but, you know. Okay, Magnussen in. Okay, 3.3 second pit stop. Which is not impressive, but it'll do. Okay. Deploy. And we go aggressive to start with. So the basic plan here is to just build up as much speed as we can while we've got time here. We've got 6-second gap to Tsunoda. We want to just eat that up. Okay, Verstappen has pitted. But that doesn't really factor into our race. He was miles ahead of us.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Congratulations, you finally got past him! Alright, burn some fuel. See if we can actually pull a gap here. What's the interval required? The interval 0.7 behind. You also need 1 point. You need to close up on Zhou in order to actually not have DRS yourself, but looks as if that's going to go back the other way. Alright. Magnussen can now start harvesting and go down to standard usage. Hamilton Bottas pitted. Okay, this is interesting now. Where are they going to go in relation to Magnussen? Have we caught Hamilton? Have we overtaken Hamilton? Not quite. We did clear Bottas. He was in our sort of run of cars, so that's fine. Okay, Schumacher P9.
Okay, more lift and coast, please.
Copy.
Yellow in sector 3, yellow flag.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
Okay, Stroll. Nobody relevant to us. Okay, Zhou pits. So I'm assuming all of these drivers are going onto the hard tyre. They must be. Yeah. So there again, going to the end on these hard tyres. This race is kind of already over from a strategic point of view from there, I guess. Meanwhile, Shimi.
We've just had a car run wide.
Oh, that's good for us. That is extremely good for us. Hamilton was... Zhou was fighting Schumacher, so... that works out quite nicely. Also, that was a bit clumsy. Let's deploy. See if we can get that 1 second gap in. And it looks as if we can. Alright, Magnussen goes to neutral. I think we're going to pit Schumacher early. Oh, no we're not. No we're not. We'll wait a lap. Yep, pit options, hard tyre. Off you go.
Box now, Mick, box now.
Box.
Alright, so with that done, Magnussen 6 seconds behind Hamilton with Bottas closing in on us. I think in both cases we need to start conserving some fuel because we seem to just be overburning, unfortunately. I don't know if this is just a feature of the game, but it does seem to have some very weird consistency with the fuel management. It does swing all over the place. But you save so much following another car quite closely, and then you just seem to burn it when you're on your own. Alright, where's Schumacher coming out is going to interest me a little bit. Hopefully ahead of Joe. Yes, ahead of Joe. Not by much, but he's ahead of Joe. And he can push his tyres to the end. To be fair, we can probably push with Magnussen at this point. Alright, the downside, I guess, is that Joe is behind us, but in DRS range. And while I could push a little bit, I don't think we're going to get beyond him. He's not beyond him by enough. The one thing to be said for kind of pushing at this point, though, is obviously we're fighting Ricciardo and Norris, who have gone a bit longer, but in theory we're on faster tyres right now, so should be fine. I think Ocon has to pit as well. Possibly Alonso. Meanwhile, Magnussen staying at 1.2 ahead, but has now got reserves of fuel. Okay. Can he stay ahead? Currently 11 and 13th. But of course Schumacher has Joe right behind him. So this is going to be a battle that goes on, I think. And it's pretty much the rest of the race is going to be these two. The only exception this will be if there is a safety car or something. And Bottas does not seem able to close in on Magnussen. 1.2 has been about the gap for a while, but of course we were saving fuel during that period. And something we need to do again, unfortunately. We don't want crashes. Crashes are not good for us right now. That gives everybody ahead of us a free pit stop. We can have a crash once Ricciardo, Norris, Ocon, and Alonso have done everything.
I think someone's run wide.
Latifi ran wide. Okay. Because what happens is they basically lose less time taking a pit stop. So effectively, it's not a free pit stop, but it is a... It's a pit stop under safety conditions, so they can kind of bypass all of the time loss. That being said, running wide is just going off the track. So they've just, instead of turning around there, they've gone on. Alright, Bottas now in range. So I do think we are still going to save on fuel at the moment, just because it makes sense at this stage. But Magnussen can use to defend. Actually, just go natural here. Now we're back to +4, we can do that. The thing is, we can change that from negatives to pluses quite quickly by just doing that, so... Alfa Romeo is quick in a straight line. So basically we're in a double battle here, because obviously Magnussen's fighting Bottas, Schumacher's fighting Zhou. Same two cars, same two positions. Magnussen's just ahead of his expected consumption, because actually he's supposed to be doing this all the way through. So, okay. Doable, but tricky. They do have to go onto a new tyre. So basically, they started on the hardest of the 3 available tyres. So they're just going to take a probably the soft or the medium later in the race and be on the quickest tyre at the end. We kind of were on the quicker tyre at the start of the race and tried to make up positions that way. The downside is, of course, that a new but slower tyre is generally faster than a worn good tyre, if that makes sense. So in theory, we should be lapping faster than, say, Alonso, who is probably the one person that Magnussen's fighting here. So if we look at the lap times, Alonso doing 120.1s, we're also doing 120.1s. So, about even, I guess. Alright, Schumacher has saved enough fuel. We can carry on. Once again, we're going to do this sequence, aren't we? And once again, we just get past him on that bit. Yeah, so the slow speed section after that corner is clearly where we just got the advantage on the Alphas, and it just means that they can't overtake us right now. Which is good. The downside is we can't pull away, so they're always going to have the DRS range on us. .120.6. That twice they're going half a second faster than us. Although missing the Ocon Norris is dodgy. Might not be in that much of a better shape. Equally, there's not much we can do about it now, but... Alright, let's see if this happens at the third time. Oh, he's actually managed it this time. That's a problem. So is Bottas massively quicker than us?
A position gained for Alfa Romeo.
Because he's massively quicker than us, then yeah. If we can stay with him and re-overtake him at the DRS line, then that's fine. Also, in theory, we should be saving a little bit of fuel just sticking behind him at this stage. Okay, so this time we get the DRS. We have the speed advantage. But we're not able to make the overtake happen. The good news is, now though, that we're right behind him, we're saving fuel via slipstream. The interesting thing, I guess, will be is Magnussen is actually faster than us, because if he's sort of dragging us along, then maybe that's going to give us an advantage to the others. 119.1s, so definitely faster than the McLarens. Faster than Ocon, not faster than Alonso necessarily. It's not great. Also, we're just straight past Bottas again. So he might have actually used his battery to try and force that then. Which is something that I guess we could be doing. But yeah, let's deploy battery. Let's try and actually clear that 1 second. Because then he won't be able to use the DRS to catch up with us and stick with us. There we go, 1.1. That's fine. So no DRS for Bottas this time. We can conserve a little bit of fuel. Gain the fastest lap of the race. And hopefully just keep this going a little bit. And of course, don't run out of fuel. That's the other side thing we need to do. Unfortunately, Bottas is quicker than us because he is... Well, it was 1.4. He's now down to under a second again. And again, that's not where we want it to be. If he has DRS, he's just going to get back within half a second, and then we're back to where we were at a couple of laps ago. 11th, 13th is okay for now because we know that both the McLarens are going to pit again and fall behind both our drivers. Ocon is probably going to pit again and be behind us, we hope. Alonso, I don't know. Alonso might be far enough ahead that he can actually just pit and stay ahead of us. I hope not, but you know. Also, Mick Schumacher did get that as gapped Zhou here, so he actually can start taking it easy a little bit. Magnussen can't really, which is a shame because we need to save some fuel. Alright, 540. They've got to be coming in soon. The downside is, I guess they're coming in for softs, so they're going to be on the absolute fastest tyre in a few moments. Yellow flag in sector 3. See, a safety car now would actually be okay for us here, because we could basically pit ourselves, go onto the fastest tyre, and try things, I guess. At least they allow us to maintain position. So currently 16 laps is all they've got to do on those soft tyres. I have a feeling Bottas has got ahead of us here. And he has. And he's already cleared by a second.
Just moved up a place.
No, we're not letting you get out of a second range. And here we go. So the hard runners are now going to pit. Are going to pit now. So it'll be interesting to see where Russell Alonso come out in relation to us here. Right in the middle of the battle. That is depressing, because I don't think now we're going to beat them. Ricardo's going to pit, so that puts us down to P9. We might get P8 if we get past Bottas, but it's going to be tricky now. Russell's just on faster tyres and ahead of us, so he's going to clear. Loud noises! Loud noises, and that's somebody following me on Twitch. I'm streaming on YouTube. Alright, battery's empty. Let's harvest for both. See what we can manage here. Ricardo's staying out. So, I mean, Schumacher's on target, being P12. Magnussen, we need to gain a position, which he should do against Ricciardo, admittingly. But staying ahead of Bottas and Alonso is going to be tough. Actually, let's go full defend here. Or full conserve and build our stuff back up. Yeah, Ricciardo passed here, so 10th and 11th. Loud noises! Ocon pits, okay. We should stay ahead of Ocon as well, so that gets us back to 9. So we need one of these positions back. Unfortunately, we have kind of screwed up a little bit with Magnussen here, but we should manage. Actually, will Schumacher get ahead of Ocon? Schumacher's on the battle for a point! It's going to be a difficult battle for a point, but he's in the battle for a point. Just stay with Ocon and try to sneak past him. Meanwhile, Magnussen has just lost this train, unfortunately, so he is kind of in no man's land. Mainly we are harvesting. We might get a chance later down the line, but at the moment, it seems tricky. We need Alonso and Bottas to crash, or at least impact each other in some meaningful way. Give us the chance to get up to 8th that way. Or one of the front drivers can you know, take an extra pit stop or find some other way to screw their race up. That'd be fine too. Alright, past the lapped car. 2 seconds is the gap. 10 laps to go. I noticed. I took 2 laps of fuel out of the car, but I don't think it would have mattered. We've been +2 at various points. The fuel is just very dodgy. You know, Schumacher is just battling Joe for 11th now, which I guess is what the best they can do. New tyres on Ocon. We're not gonna be able to stick with him. We can go attack on Schumacher though. He's got a bit more tyre wear to play around with. So let's go aggressive with both drivers. See if we can actually close this gap. Especially as it looks like that Williams wants to get past us again. Yeah. So deploy battery. We'll see if we can get in range. Give us a shot at Bottas. Now we're still losing time to those two. .9. Battery fully drained, but we're basically getting almost no time back.
Charge on. Copy
Ah,
that.
well, 7 laps to go. I think this is just going to be 2 points for Magnussen at this point. Nothing I can really do here. Might as well go down to aggressive on both drivers here if we're not going to be able to make more of that. We can play with Schumacher, try and give himself a bit of breathing room to both Zhou and Gasly, but and breathing room is what we got him. Meanwhile, I'm getting slightly concerned that this is staying at minus 0.2. Yes, absolutely. Water your plants in Animal Crossing. That is absolutely important. Still minus 0.2. Yep, blue shell will be lovely to have right now. A slight increase in the amount of petrol in the car would be nice too. Minus 0.1. Okay. Darn it, he nearly managed... Okay, it is slightly improving. That's good. I've just been slightly concerned for a little bit that it's just not moved off that point 2. The good news is it is getting better. It's just not getting better very fast. 4 laps to go. And Schumacher now 2.8 clear. Should be okay himself. So 11th is safe. 9th is what we're going to have to take. That means we failed the objective to improve positions with both drivers. Maybe 9th isn't safe. Deploy, deploy, deploy. Yeah, well aware the fuel range is getting low. I am ever so slightly concerned about that. Last lap, and apparently we'll only do 2/3 of it. Okay, well, race is over. Are we going to get to finish it? Interval.
Someone's run wide.
I mean, we might not have 9th yet. Magnussen might run out of fuel here. I mean, honestly, it was the only strategy we had, and it's just, yeah. Yeah, so that's finish. If Magnussen runs out of fuel and we lose a position, because effectively what we're replacing here is Magnussen's 2 points with Schumacher's 1, I am going to be annoyed. Because he's been running in lean for the entirety of the last 10 or so laps, but just seems unable to do things. Because Schumacher's been running in standard for that long as well. I'm annoyed. I am really annoyed. I am really, really, really annoyed.
Okay, that was the checker.
Yeah, car was great. Thank you.
Good job. See you soon. Over and out.
I've been running in lean for the last 10 laps to try and get that back up from 0.2 down.
He's living the dream. Exceptional work.
Computer is very angry. Because that also affects our finishing position things that we were trying to get to. Oh, well. 1 more point for Nick Schumacher. Alpine re-overtake us in the Constructors' Championship. Yeah, the fuel is really inconsistent in this game as far as as I've mentioned many a time. But hey. Well, I don't know if I ruined anybody else's race. But hey, it happens. Kevin Magnussen has low morale. I'm not surprised after that. Well, we'll see if we can improve things as we go here. But, it's fine. We'll manage things. Okay, also, we have new aero round in a little bit. And we have some money for things. So, not doing any new projects just yet. We'll wait until we actually have the aero round in. Hospitality area has been built. That's going to improve the treatment attractiveness, so all good. Tour Center has been upgraded, so that's increased weekly income. Next step then on the agenda. Car development. We are the fastest low-speed car! We're going to be awesome in Monaco. We hope. If we're not awesome in Monaco, something has gone badly wrong. But, yeah. Alright, car development. We need some research. So we know there's going to be technical changes to the chassis, so let's put... Put 3 of those and half of our current allotment into this for the moment. Actually, we'll put 40 in. Let's save us with that. Research focus, drag reduction, and the middle airflow, largely because those are the areas that are going down. And let's put on all of our spare engineers. Okay. Also, we have our side pods being complete in a little bit as well, which would be quite nice. What was he complaining we had low parts for? Underfloor. That actually makes sense because we got the new ones in. So let's build 2 of them. No need to rush this particularly, so we'll just go and build that. Okay, so spares are ready. Can then go to facilities. Let's upgrade the tour center to the top level to maximize our weekly income. And let's go and upgrade the helipad because we want more sponsor rewards. It will eventually make things better. We hope. We can't improve the morale like that. We can improve the morale like this, though. So let's do it. And if we can buy the race simulator as well, we can't. So, okay. We'll leave that as is. Okay, I think I'm going to do Miami. I've got some spare time today, so let's do 2 races. Also, hopefully this one... Actually, this one's probably going to be worse for us. From what I remember, Miami's just got the long straight and is a high-speed circuit. So, targets. Q2 is what's expected of us with 1 driver. We'll see if we can reach Q3, and we'll say that we can get both of our drivers into the top 14. Actually, was that better than just doing 1 driver into the top? 1 driver into the top 8 seems more reasonable. We're going to bank on K-Mag getting that, so that'll be fine. Although, if I go 9th, we're more likely to get it, so... Alright, 1 driver, top 10. There we go. Okay. We're not going to get the fastest lap. And we're going to try for another finishing position streak of... both drivers in the top 14, because we kind of failed that last time. Oh well. Yeah, so both drivers qualifying and finishing in the top 14 for 2 million in 3 races. Seems reasonable. Is there anything you actually do in terms of development at this point? No, we don't have enough research slots available for that. But side pods are going to be done in 4 days, so that'll be after this race. Alright, to Miami. I mean, I guess the technical section is probably going to be good for us, but, you know. Straight line speed. The fact that we didn't focus on straight line speed is kind of hurting us a bit, I think.
We're in the state of year-round.
Yay, rain during practice. Okay. Circuit info, so... So all of the red areas, we are the best in the grid at doing that. We are going to be the fastest there. Everywhere else, we'll ignore those. Okay. Let's continue. So, I'm going to go softs largely because we know there's going to be weather affecting this. Car parts, we're going to switch to our practice engines. And practice gearboxes. Yes, that's the area we're fast in. Driving options is fine. Setup. Okay. Probably don't want to go extreme to that end just because I know that if I need capacity in both directions. Yep, that'll be fine. And K-Mag. Make sure. Yep, you're using the engine gearbox. So, does K-Mag on his old engines? That might explain why it wasn't so good, but oh well, we'll keep on with that anyway. Okay. Now to watch the dots spin round and round for a bit. K-Mag out and shimmy out. Good news is we have complete car knowledge. Nearly. You know, so long as we don't crash or do anything that ruins the car again. Okay, so tire's wearing out reasonably quickly around here as well. In fact, we might even get the full stint in, which should be bad.
Who's running wide there?
That would be Vettel. I mean, obviously this is a soft tyre run, but it seems reasonable. When's that weather arriving? It's not! I should not be on the soft tyres. Oh well. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. 13th and 7th. Once we get to Monaco, everything will be better. Everything will be better. It might not be, but everything will be better.
How's the balance?
Okay, you're happy with that. Reconfigure then. So, tyres hard since we know we don't have to worry about the weather this time. And that's bad, but everything else is good. Alright, let's do 3 clicks that way and just run it like that, I guess. Maybe run a couple back just to try and give us some capacity.
How's your balance?
Something doesn't feel 100%.
Understood.
We have a number to that, and that number is 38% is what we have. Okay. So let's adjust that, and adjust that. So that was the only thing that was good, and it's the only thing we can't really do a lot about. I mean, let's try that. There's got to be an improvement, surely. 7th and 14th. 8th and 14th, rather. Well, I mean, if Schumacher can gain a couple of positions, Magnussen stay ahead of Alonso, then we got a shot at beating Alpine through the season. Right, while we wait. More B3 required. Oh wait, no locking up. Oh, for God darn it, K-Mag.
Right, there's been a crash.
All okay, Kev?
Yeah, my bad.
Alright, well that's our last front wing. This is going to help us learn information if that's happening.
VSC.
Again, you don't tend to run VSCs in the safety car position, but you know.
There's been a crash.
Yep, I gathered that. Yep.
The VSC is ending.
Kev, how's the balance?
Alright, so he's still happy with the car, that's fine. We'll just leave him out there to try and gain some track experience, although...
How's your read on the balance and things?
Okay. So if driver's in a better position, at least then...
Understood.
At least Schumacher doesn't hate his car anymore. That was Ricciardo who just completely crashed out of the car, so... Shame it's not qualifying. That would buy us one additional position.
That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
Okay. So this one's going to be a wet practice. Right then, what can we do here? Braking stability still not quite there. Let's do that. Let's then do that. So I'm trying to keep the thing in the right position here, but it's just not quite working for me. Maybe something like that. Alright, toe to there. Problems we're miles out on that certain other things, which is really awkward. It feels like I'm trying to ruin this setup at the moment, and I kind of am. Hold on, let's reverse it. Okay. That's the biggest adjustment I can make is that, but it doesn't work with the rest of the car. That then is the only thing I can do that's not going to make a huge difference to what's going on. And then maybe one click there just to see what happens. Okay. I don't know what the rain weather is going to do, so we're going to put soft tires on. Meanwhile, 77%. Seems okay. Let's try a click and a click and see if that works. Run plan 19 laps and run plan 19 laps. All right. Practice. And of course, the rain will immediately ruin anything that we do here, so let's go. When is the rain due? Towards the end of the run. That's fine. We might even have the ability to do things at that stage. That's fine. This is practice. The gearbox is allowed to show some wear. Yep, wet weather is arriving. And it looks like we're not going to get any of the setup knowledge maxed out at that point, but hey. We've had a crash.
We've had a crash.
Alright, is it going to go full wet? It looks like it might. Let's wait and see if it will go full wet, and then we'll see what we want to do. Fortunately, we need some track knowledge, so I think we are going to have to go for it. It's going to stay just below the point where it's wet, so better. Alright, what's Verstappen gone out on? Inters. Alright, let's send them out on wets. Something you never do in practice is send your drivers out in wet conditions, especially when there's, you know, limited components and things, but we'll do it anyway, because people want their track knowledge. Good news is I can almost guarantee we're going faster than Verstappen. Now the question is, do I just pull him in? Yeah, we'll pull him in. Yeah, we're here for setup knowledge, so that's fine.
How was the balance?
Felt very good in the car.
Alright, small reconfiguration, and then we'll see. And then one click or two there, I think, and we'll try that. Tires will stay on the same wets. Ooh, double optimal and one thing then. So let's go for a click on the straights and a slight correction. If we can make a slight correction in truth. We'll try that. And of course, once it's dry enough to be inter running, we'll probably just bring them in and replace with the inters, which is about now. And send out. And they'll probably actually end up on those for the rest of the stint, so we'll just leave them out there. It's a well-known current Formula 1 strat to just keep burning through your inters until they effectively become dry tyres again. That is 9 minutes. It won't dry out fully before then, so. Or at least it shouldn't. Yeah, last one we want to send them to crash. I'm on the wrong tyres, so let's bring them in and they'll do.
Okay,
And session is done.
We'll be kicking off today.
Okay. Dry running. Medium 20 lap, well, 24 laps. I guess it doesn't matter. We know it's going to be a small stint initially anyway, so because they already have most of their knowledge things set up. So, yep, there you go. Practice free, go.
Radio check, Kevin.
Radio's good.
All right, let's go.
And how was the grip and balance?
For now, no. It feels really good.
Okay, understood.
All right, showing great. I could bring him in and try and change
How's the
things,
balance?
but actually, if they're both in the 80s already, we can just do a mid stint
Understood, Kev.
and get their track knowledge up. Something that Magnussen is suffering a little from. A second to 1.2 off the pace. Which again, not surprising. We've had no updates to the car, and I didn't think the circuit was one that was going to suit us, so. I'd like to develop another front wing before we get to Monaco. But I don't know if we've got the time for that. Perez did, apparently. 94, you say? I am pretty happy with 94. We'll do a slight adjustment and see if we can stick on with that, I think. Run plan will be... Actually, let's put on a new set of boots. I don't think it's going to do any harm. 87. I don't know if that's actually going to make any difference whatsoever, but we can always revert it back. Soft tires, 18 laps, off we go. One 133.4, 9th position currently. Oh, look at it, Schumacher's not improving his time because he's stuck behind Ocon, so we'll forgive him a little for that. Okay. Sonoda's decided he's had enough of today.
There's been a crash. Sounds like a single car.
Copy.
VSC ending. VSC ending.
So apparently this game has controller support, and I just nudged into it. Well, I mean, I'm pretty good with just the rest of this for the moment.
Kev, how's the
Actually,
balance?
yeah, just go out and new set of tires. What's the harm? Yeah, I'm likely scrubbed and see if we can work out what the last bit of the gap is. There we go.
Anything we can help you with?
I think that might be strictly worse, because if it was any improvement, I think it goes into the perfect category, which is 95 plus, but... Okay. So pretty much all of the bonuses going for Schumacher at the moment. Let's see if we can qualify well. So we're going to go out on our worn tyres to start with. Again, Schumacher making it to Q3 is is probably unlikely. But we'll see. Revert to the highest setup. Revert to the highest setup. Okay. Quali 1.
Radio check, Mick.
I sent Magnussen out behind the Mercedes here. So a few drivers on track. And again, just hoping that nobody's going to get in our way. And that's a lot of drivers that are about to get in our way. God darn it. I mean, technically, Mick Schumacher was faster than Hamilton. Nearly as fast as Perez, but we all lost time on that one. Alright, new tyres. New tyres. We're going to need them. Well, we might need them. We'll see. Yeah, the gap to Vettel's not high. I mean, I'm fine with qualifying ending pretty much as it is now. That'd be fine for me. Good news is, it looks as if everybody screwed everybody else up, so that's something. Okay, so it's a 1 minute 30 laps, so we want to leave soon-ish. Yeah, let's send Schumacher now. Right at the head of the queue. Magnussen right at the back of it. Alright, let's go. We should be okay, but I just want to make sure of things. So there's a lot of drivers who had bad lap times that are probably going to improve. We're going to start tumbling down the order. We need to set a good lap because we were held up ourselves. Yeah, double green from Schumacher. Goes up by 1/10.5. So actually not that much in the scheme of things, but we couldn't have just left that as is. Alright, through the slow technical section though, we should be amazing into the last... Yeah, the bottom 5 get eliminated in the first session, next 5 get eliminated in the second session, and then top 10 just to determine the final positions. There we go. Schumacher easily into the second round of qualifying. Okay. Now, this is going to be a little trickier because we only have one set of new tyres for Schumacher, but as we've already mentioned, he's unlikely to make Q3, so we can just use both of those up. Magnussen also will go scrub tyres initially and just see how that works. Alright, Magnussen immediately out.
Okay, radio check again, Nick.
3, 4. Schumacher out. I say, if we get a clean lap with these two, then... Schumacher did not get a clean lap. Signs there. And there's rain. What? No. That was rain for practice. The practice session. Magnussen went a 2.4 ahead, but I'm fairly certain that Sainz just completely held up Schumacher. Magnussen currently P4, but I don't think that's... that was not intentional. It was absolutely intentional. Absolutely intentional. Okay. Schumacher goes out now. Leads the pack, and then we'll have Magnussen go out right at the end. It could potentially be a thing. If it rained now, yeah, nobody would improve the lap times, but Schumacher would be out. Alright, let's see what Schumi can do. He needs a half-second improvement, but I'm fairly certain he was held up by Sainz, so... he should manage it, I think. $34.1. I don't have a comparison for that, unfortunately. Not the signs! 21, not a good middle sector. Mason is 4th at the moment. I don't think he's going to stay there, but 4 for 2, and this isn't the session that matters. It's just about getting into the top 10. Schumacher currently P5 with that performance, so that was not bad, but is it good enough? It might be good enough. No, I don't think it is. There's Bottas and Russell still to go. That one of those is going to get past, if not both. Yeah. Oh, it was close. 11th. 11th is okay, though. 11th we can work with. All right. Qualifying session 3. All right, K-Mag, we're just going to send you straight out.
Great check, Kevin.
Radio's good.
See if anybody gets in his way. Nobody's getting in his way on this initial lap, which is good. And there's a 130.7 and is 8/10 off the pace. Got done, Alonso. Alright, new tyres though for the last bit. Okay, free. Oh, darn it, I'm not the first up. Darn it. Oh well, we might be stuck behind Gasly for this. I was going to leave it to the end, but I wanted to do what I did with Schumacher and just put him out ahead, but... let's see, I might get DRS slingshot. Didn't happen though. P8. So 8th and 11th is okay.
It's race day.
Okay, partly cloudy. We've hit all of our qualifying targets, actually, which is quite nice. So, hey, additional 300,000. Expected strategies. Medium to hard or medium hard soft. So that's probably how we will consider things. So we can, of course, go very aggressive on that. And be more aggressive on the softs at the end. Okay, so that seems fine. Let's then delete this and just see what the difference is between just doing this. About the same. In truth. Well, I think we aim for strategy A and then possibly move it around, but hey, let's see. Schumacher will go for modified version of this strategy, I think. Just don't want to have them pitting on the same lap, ideally. Remove that, and it's basically going to be a difference between these two, isn't it? Which apparently this one's faster. At least the way we're currently doing it. Marginally faster if we wait one lap, so we'll do that. It's basically both drivers on the same strategy for this one. Let's go aggressive, get some overtakes done with Schumacher, and aggressive, get some overtakes done with Schumacher. We're going to remove one lap of fuel from the car. We removed 2 last time, and that was clearly an error. Let's go with that.
It's a bit of a cloudy day. And
I don't want to
this
hear
is
cloudy
it,
days.
the Miami Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Alright, let's see what we can do. Bottas and Russell messing around at the head of us, but not able to make it through at the moment. And it should not rain. Yeah, when we do get onto Monaco, remind me to turn the volumes down, because it naturally mutes itself at times 2, it doesn't at times 1. But hey. So the slow speed sector is where we are massively quick and right onto the back straight, so we should be good at least grabbing onto people at that point. Nice, Schumacher's into the top 10. Assuming that we can stay ahead of... Wow, is that actually overtaking for Norris? Yeah, go for it. Alright, we're 8 and 9. Good work done thus far.
Haas with an overtake there.
Double points! Alright, standard. We're just going to try it and ease our way into this. Love to put the gap up against Norris, but equally we can't because there's Magnussen and Russell in the way.
DRS enabled.
I did not change the engine on the darn car before I did this race. God darn it. Well, let's hope these things last. But anyway, DRS enabled. Now it's just a case of staying with the car in front and hoping that we can use DRS as slingshot, as is basically the only strategy of every race thus far we've done. But you know. Alright, into the slow area, and here comes the DRS things. Eight for 9th. We should probably check what other people are doing at the moment. So, looks like everyone's going on the hard tyres, at least initially. So, they're going hard, change to mediums. We're obviously doing medium, change to hard, which means... Yeah, which means we'll be stopping in earlier and going onto a slower tyre. It might not be the best thing, but we'll see. We obviously have the third strategy of just trying to do two stops and going for it here. I was about to say, was that Schumacher trying to overtake Magnussen and coming off really badly? Because if that was, that's a problem. He's still got the DRS though, so he should be alright actually, thankfully. We're going to say don't fight your teammate here. We just want to use him to save fuel a bit and, you know, just keep things going. Magnussen, on the other hand, needs to try and stay with things. Start deploying a little bit, see if we can actually close this gap and force our way past. Meanwhile, that appears to be what Russell is doing. Free wide into the end straight, and yeah, that'll do. Magnussen up to 7th.
Haas with an overtake.
The question, of course, now is, can Schumacher get past as well? The answer to that being a probably maybe. Yeah, not much I can do about the gearboxes right now, except change them next time. See, the plan was to just use a gearbox for practice and then, you know, have the race engines be fresh and good. Not entirely working, is it? Oh, Magnussen's through. Alright, can Magnussen now claw out a second?
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Let's push and go aggressive on these tyres. Want to see if we can actually manage it here. Also going to say deploy. If we fail, then, you know, we fail, but we might as well try and make it happen this time. Because this is the sector where we're massively quicker than everybody else, or at least should be. It's right before the second DRS bit. Unfortunately, not gonna work. Now, let's save the fuel because we can push with that a little later. And if Russell wants to try and get past us, then it's not a problem as long as we stay with him. But the fight is for sixth here.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
And yeah, Magnussen just seems to be burning fuel more than he should be. At least compared to Schumacher, who's in a similar position. But technically, we could... I mean, P6 and P7 is technically on here. And through we are again.
Haas with an overtake there.
We may not have the pace to keep up with Hamilton, but we're at least matching Russell. Yeah, Mick Schumacher can just stay behind and just save fuel at this point. Fuel and tyres the way it's going. So what was the pit plan? Plan was to send that Magnussen a lap longer. We might not do that. We might actually have him a lap earlier. I am disappointed that that Alonso's in fourth, but not much I can do about that at this point.
Mercedes moved up a place.
That was a dive. Made it, but it was a dive.
Haas with an overtake.
And Bottas is starting to lose a little bit of ground to us here. Oh, okay, just incidentally in that bit. Fair enough.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Okay, we're back to +1. And in fact, we're back into... Yeah, Russell's just not able to stay in front of us the way this is going at the moment. More than it's less that
Is that a new race position for
we're fast enough. It's that Russell isn't at the moment. We are closing in on Hamilton, apparently. He was 3 seconds up at one point. Maybe he's just being slowed up by Alonso. But either way, that's a fully charged battery for Schumacher. And if we can get a fully charged one for Magnussen in the next few laps, that'll be perfect. Then we might have a real, genuine attempt to try and get out of this. Oh, Schumacher's actually dropped off, which is not great, but I expect he'll catch up. Also, unless I missed something here, did Max Verstappen's behind us? I missed that.
It's a race position gained from Mercedes.
I guess on the plus side, Mick can use Verstappen's pace to stay ahead.
Haas with an overtake there.
Oh, fuel saved. And we'll try and save some tyre wear as well. Just because it's getting a little marginal. And while, technically speaking, going to plan 2 wouldn't necessarily be the worst, it is, it's probably less than ideal. Okay, ultra aggressive, go to plan B. Apparently it would make up the pit stop, but it seems dodgy.
Wow. Wow.
Red Bull gained a place.
Yeah, so Verstappen overtaking Schumacher is not a problem, as long as we can stay with him.
We're happy with you pushing.
And we're going to deploy as well. We need to...
margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy that.
Okay. So by doing this, hopefully we'll be able to stick with Verstappen and use him to drag Schumacher back into the other battle that he was previously in. But more importantly, obviously don't want to be losing ground to cars behind us. Don't necessarily want to be fighting Verstappen too hard, but not going to say no. Verstappen pits from behind us as well. Interesting.
Haas with an overtake.
Well, they're mediums. They must have been. Well, back in reasonable position here. Magnussen then still in his freeway fight, with a bunch of fuel available as well. Let's see if he can do something with that. He's pulled out over a second, but it's not necessarily like he's going to keep that. I guess the trick is just having the position and then going for it at this point. Target for this race is as many points as we can steal. If we can get Magnussen into 6th, if we can get Magnussen into 5th, then that's what we want to be doing. Verstappen is out of position, and has just pitted. So I think we're ahead of him on strategy, the way this works, unless I've missed something. But he's only done one stop, and he was just in front of Schumacher before when that happened. So he's behind us on track in terms of overall pace. All right, back to conserve, back to harvesting, back to standard usage. Yeah, we know he's going to get past us, but equally, I'd much rather just save some fuel behind him if we can right now.
Mercedes moved up a place.
Maybe we need to force a little harder here. But yeah, we're so much faster in the slow speed sections that we just catch him at the DRS points. Well, let's stick with this for the moment. I don't especially want Bottas to get past us, and he doesn't. Downside with that is, let's let Russell get away. In fact, it has let Russell get away. Alright, go back to neutral usage. We'll see if Bottas can catch him up for a bit.
A position gained for Alfa Romeo.
Alright, pit strategy opening up for Schumacher. But I mean, going onto the hards and just going to the end of the race seems like a good plan. It's certainly what other people are doing.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
It is, and we're also going to deploy, see if we can get back within a second of Russell. And we can. But yeah, I think we're looking pretty good for a double points finish here. The question marks, I suppose, are Verstappen, Ocon behind us, who have made pit stops already. But we'll see. Yeah, Magnussen is going to have to stop sooner than we would like. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to pit him now. I don't think he's going to last if we don't.
Box.
The Mercedes did it.
The Mercedes did it, indeed. Actually, it hasn't boxed yet, so I don't know what you're talking about with that. Okay, so the question is, will pitting early, getting onto fresh rubber, be enough to allow us to overhaul this gap? Also, we've got to make those hards go to the end, and we can't really push on them after that point. Well, let's see. Ferrari's coming in as well, apparently. Alright, so Magnussen coming out behind Verstappen, which is what we kind of expected. It's a shame we weren't closer to Verstappen because we could probably use him to slingshot our way forward. But there we go. He's got his race to run now. And I think Schumacher, we can actually wait until he gets to his actual pit lap. His optimal pit lap, anyway. Leclerc in. Yeah, so Ferrari were ready for a pit stop, it just wasn't now. Yeah, keep an eye on that 4.3. Yes. Hard tyres, pit this lap.
Box now, Mick. Box now.
Copy. Box is fine.
Alright, so this is all of the medium runners who have now pitted at this point. Mick Schumacher, the lone exception, and everybody else is on the hard to medium strategy. We're going to start fuel conserving with Magnussen here, just because. Sainz was on the harder touch. No, Sainz was on mediums, apparently. Okay. No, he's gone on to mediums. So he's doing a multi-stop. He must be. Because mediums shouldn't go to the end at this point. Okay, so Mick Schumacher arrives about a second behind Ocon, which is fine. That's about where we reckoned. Now, though, we're just going to hope that he can get up to the back of him. Because if he can, then we can start using DRS nonsense to sort that out. And Ocon did pit a lot earlier than us. But I imagine he can go to the end as well. Or if he isn't, then he's going to stop again for softs and we'll get past him that way, I guess. But either way. Oh, here we go. So this is kind of important. Where, in comparison, is Magnussen? Basically right behind Bottas. So nothing really has changed. And we're okay with this. But of course, Bottas is on mediums, and I don't think the mediums are going to the end. So I think Bottas has got to stop again, and we are going to get past. We're going to get past him. The only thing we got to make sure of course, is that we don't burn our tires too much. So we can't afford to go aggressive on them and do that. We just need to save fuel behind other drivers and do our thing. And currently, Mick Schumacher is behind Norris, and that unfortunately is a change of position against us. But what tires are Norris on? Norris on mediums as well. Yeah, I think these medium runners have made a mistake, but the question mark will be how much faster are they than us? And if the answer is not very much, then they're going to lose out in the next pit stop phase. The only thing that would give them a benefit is if there was a safety car to give them the free, make their pit stop cheaper effectively. Then they wouldn't have to be as much faster than us. But I think in general, I think we're in the best position at the moment. I'm curious as to where Russell's going to come out, because obviously Russell, Bottas, and Magnussen were having that battle. So where is Russell in comparison? Behind. Okay. Behind by a second. So he's not involved in this battle at the moment. And I'm almost tempted to stay behind because it's allowing us to do a lot of fuel saving. The question, of course, I guess, is going to be whether Russell catches us up. And what tyres is Russell on, actually? Russell is on mediums because he started on hard, so had to do that. So they basically have got to go take their mediums all the way to the end, in which case they've got to make their tyres do something that ours might do, and it's not an easy task, or they're going to stop again. So Magnussen might be in P5 at the moment, effectively.
Haas with an An overtake there.
I mean, we don't. Verstappen probably does have to pit again as well. But he went onto the hard earlier than us. But he could go to the end. Even if he stops, though, I imagine he will get ahead of us by the end of the race. Just he's already what 13 seconds up the road, and going onto faster tyres at the end. Probably going to be good enough. Yeah, Russell is not catching us. Russell is slower than us right now. Whether that remains is questionable, but you know. Excellent. He's losing ground to Alonso, which is annoying. But as long as we're close enough to Hamilton and Alonso, when they pit again, we will stay ahead of them. Chance for some really good points here. Schumacher, unfortunately, Schumacher is now ahead of Norris. Good. But is sort of in that battle. I suppose we could go deploy and try and catch up to Ocon. Because that would then drag this into a freeway battle and also give us a chance to, you know, secure that point. Yeah, let's be careful with this, of course, but... Good. Alright, so now we're behind... In fact, we're now fighting Ocon. And might actually be ahead of him now. There we are. Okay, good. So we turn this into a freeway battle, effectively. And in fact, if we can keep pushing, we might even be able to just break the second gap and just say goodbye. Goodbye. They don't have DRS, and we get through the slow speed section, which we're, of course, faster than them at. All to the good for us, and that looks like it is all to the good for us at the moment. Guess that is the only problem. We are running low on battery for both drivers, but you know, now we've got that 1.7 gap. We're now clear in 10th, and all of the things I mentioned about the pit stop phase are kind of true. The downside, though, is just looking at this. Russell has caught us back up. But, again, medium tyres versus the hards that we're on. As long as Magnussen stays more or less with it, I think this is good. This is just our... Yeah, we're just going to pick these positions up. This is going to be a good points haul. What is Alonso doing, actually? Alonso is on medium, so he might have to stop again as well. So, yeah. I know I checked that before, but I want to make sure of it because obviously we want to beat Alpine wherever we can because they're the team we're directly challenging in terms of a constructors title. And Ocon and Norris still fighting each other. Mick Schumacher a second and a half ahead. Not a clear amount, but obviously enough to manage for the moment. It might not last. It might unfortunately have to stay in that freeway battle with Ocon and Norris, but we bought him some breathing room. Have a bit of a recharge, which I think actually we might start doing with Magnussen here. Just start having a proper recharge and see if we can build battery back up for later in the race. Because again, we might be okay. Ricciardo run wide. Ricciardo's not racing us. Now, if you were to say Ocon or Norris, that would be a different matter entirely. Actually, no need to push fuel. I just want to keep trying to save some battery if we can. I'm not going to do that with Schumacher right this moment, because I think he's in a good enough position. But Magnussen might be able to use that battery later on in the race to great effect. Yeah, what were the strategies? So, around lap 42 to 48. Well, maybe they're going mediums again, lap 40. A small medium stint, but that's not really looking very good for them. So Magnussen able to charge up. Bottas, though, 10 seconds behind the Hamilton-Alonso pair. That's looking dodgy for the pit stop phase. But something happening in Sector 1.
Oh, we've had a spin.
Oh, Leclerc. Okay. So Leclerc spins down to third. But did not bring out a safety car, which is important for us at this point. Alright, let's have Schumacher harvest where he can for the moment. Although, I don't really want to do... Yeah, you can go balanced. We can start sorting the car out a little bit. Battery would be useful, but I don't want to do it at the expense of getting himself into these battles again. Point 1.2. What I said I didn't want to do, I've kind of done. Oh well. Now that he has caught us up a little bit, let's just charge the battery up. We'll monitor this situation for a little bit and see what happens. Well, bye-bye, Norris.
McLaren gain a position.
Meanwhile, we're now at the back of this chain of three, but again, I don't think this is a problem for us, as long as they're not being slowed down massively.
TV has crashed.
Copy that.
Right. Yellow flag. Is it going to be safety car or...
We've just had a crash.
Because that matters now. Nope. Apparently it doesn't matter at all. The TV's in fact still running. Okay, lap 40. So, in theory, if the medium runners are going to stop again, it's going to be about nowish.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Yep, we would expect those two to go back and forth. That's not a problem for us. It's just helping towards that double points finish. Though Schumacher is losing ground to Magnussen in this trio, so it might be difficult for them to gain much more than 1 point, but I think they could potentially just get ahead of Bottas Russell and hopefully stay there.
McLaren with a great overtake.
Well, let's see. Even if it would end like this, I mean, 3 points basically for 9th and 10th. We could live with that. But I'm certain they're stopping again, people in front of us. Where are those tyre weights? Show me those tyres. Half-done tyres. I mean, arguably ours aren't that much better. Sainz pits. Okay. So I think this is the triggering of the strategy where they're just going on to a third stop. Is Sainz this pit stop going to interfere with us at all? I don't think it is. No, he's still miles in front of this battle.
Haas with an overtake there.
Good going. Back ahead of Norris. I'm sure Norris will get past you in a few moments, but it was still a good move. Perez pitting. And you think the longer this goes on without them pitting, the better it is actually for us. Here comes Hamilton and Alonso. Okay. And also, those two have pitted. This is now our time. Magnussen is ahead of Hamilton, is ahead of Alonso. 3 seconds. There is not a high amount in context. But we're going to the end. P6 and P9 at the moment. Let's Verstappen's second stop. We knew that was coming. So I think what we want to do here is just make sure we're above the fuel point because we do not want to lose to that. Magnussen now at P5 ahead of Verstappen, but we're not going to stay there. If we could use Verstappen as a slingshot to stay in front, though, that'd be good. So maybe that's what we're going to save for in a moment. Schumacher, I think, can actually go a little more aggressive on his tyres because I think he's above the curve. He's certainly ahead of where Magnussen is, so we'll use him as a baseline. But we do not want... If we can fight Hamilton and be successful in it, we want that to continue. Right, we are going to deploy a little bit here just because we want to stay with Verstappen.
Red Bull moved up.
We don't necessarily want to fight Verstappen, but we do want to stay ahead of him. Alright, Ocon goes back, so now it is Mick Schumacher with Bottas right behind him. As long as Verstappen keeps giving Magnussen the DRS, I think we can stay ahead of Hamilton. Russell in the pits. So this is potentially Magnussen up to P5. Hamilton, though, has caught massively back up to us because, unfortunately, I was not paying that much attention and Verstappen's just decided to leave. Again, might be mass battery usage, but still. Well, okay, here we go then. Can we stay ahead of Hamilton? Can we fight this one out? That is Schumacher right behind Russell with Bottas basically all over the back of him. But Mick Schumacher up to P8. This is a fight that could go. This is a fight that could go somewhere.
With an overtake.
This is a fight that we've just probably lost.
It's a race position.
But I mean, we'll try. We'll try. We are not a match for the Mercedes, but we're going to try anyway. If nothing else, staying with them is going to be advantageous to us, so... Because if the Mercedes is faster than us and faster than the Alfa Romeo behind us, we need to stick as much as we can. But we're on for so many points right now. Heck, P6 is a bonus check for Magnussen, I believe. So we have to pay him more. Alonso, though, is going to close in on us and... Crash on track. Who's the crash? Who's crashed? Please be somebody important.
It's for yellow ahead.
Stroll. No. Stroll is not helpful to us in terms of that, so, okay. Alright, good going, Mick. Just stick with him. I don't think we're going to get a chance to easily overtake him, but, you know. If it happens, and we happen to be at the ahead of him at the lap, that's even more points. That's 4 for 8th. That's 6, 8. Yeah, that'll be 14 championship points if we finish 6th and 8th, I believe.
A new race position for Haas.
If we actually overtook Hamilton, then, you know, that's getting into ridiculous levels of points. 10 points for 5th, I think. 10, 12, 15? Yeah.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
But of course, we have to actually last the rest of the race as well, so it's not the easiest thing in the world. But only 7 laps remaining. 7 laps remaining. We have fuel in reserve. We can go aggressive if we need to towards the end. And Alonso's just not catching us. I think we are safe in 6th. I was concerned Alonso would catch us. He's not. So it's just a case of whether we can win these 2 battles. Yeah, so we're both just ahead of targets, which is useful.
Haas with an overtake there.
Can kick attack Russell. Well, I mean, Mick is ahead of Russell, and Mick can get past him. It's, again, it's doable. I'm not sure how easy it is necessarily, but it is definitely possible for Mick to win this battle here. I'm mostly concerned about keeping him ahead of Bottas, but, you know, I'm not going to say no to additional points. Especially as we do get DRS this round as well. Or at least we should have DRS. We do. Excellent. No overtakes for you this time, Russell. Unfortunately, 5 more laps to go. And Alonso's starting to close that gap, but he's still 4 seconds off with 5 laps to go. So I guess the only problem is lap traffic now, which has actually now just screwed us. We've been screwed by lap traffic. Hold on, deploy. We need to get past it. We need to try and do this again. Yep, battery dead. But... darn it. Go aggressive. I don't think we can catch Schumacher without... I don't think Magnussen can catch Hamilton without the DRS assistance. We'll give it a go, but I think he's long gone now. And then it's just a case of, are we now fast enough to stay ahead of Alonso? Which is less guaranteed at this point. Yeah, it's just pulling ahead of us. God darn it, we do not want to be unlapped by you. Stay back. You. 3 seconds. 2.8. Feels like we're about to lose out. We are. Mick Schumacher's staying ahead of the battle here, though. So that's going alright for us. We'll give it a couple of laps, but we're not quite in a position where we want to start using ERS to defend. 2 seconds is the gap. Going to start harvesting while we've got the... Alright, I was about to say while we have lapped cars in the way, but we now no longer do. Yep, that's expected. Oh, this is bad. I guess our best hope is to allow Alonso past, just re-overtake him once we have battery and things. Because, I mean, the other side of the coin is we're now really low on tread. So we're not going to be long for this rest of this race the way we're going. No!
Look at that! They've run wide!
Good effort, but no, darn it. It's all gone wrong.
Position gained for Alfa Romeo.
It's all gone wrong. All right. So, Magnussen behind Alonso on track. Mick 2.5 behind Bottas. I don't know if he's going to have an opportunity to catch. He's miles ahead of Joe at least, but... I think that's just it. Yeah. All right, towel thrown in. Let's spin to the end of the race. Below 30, we can start having some major problems, so I don't really want to push for tyres anymore. Leader is on the last lap. Use all the batteries. I mean, I've charged it. We're going to give it a go now, but I don't think it's going to make that much difference. Yeah, Magson's tyres have gone. 4.8 seconds is the gap. No, we're not even catching him with battery usage. Yeah, our tyres are now done. But good news is we're 11 seconds ahead of Bottas, but... Yeah, Schumacher in no man's land by himself.
Charles Leclerc is today's winner.
Leclerc wins! Sainz second, Ferrari 1-2. And we're struggling to keep this lapped Aston Martin behind us.
Checkered flag.
I mean, on one side, it is a double points finish.
Yeah,
It is actually a really good result for us.
Okay, so obviously box.
On the other hand,
Switch off procedure when you're stopped.
it could have been 6th and 8th.
Checkered flag.
Could have been 6th and 8th. We need a development push for Monaco. Well, Kim Magnussen earns 6 points. Mick Schumacher earns 1, 7 points earned. Unfortunately, Alpine earned 8 just from Fernando Alonso being Fernando Alonso. So, yeah. It's going to be a long fight, but that's basically what we need to do. Development point for both drivers. Good. At one point, we may even use Fittipaldi somewhere. 3 million in sponsorship. Yeah, just a what could have been. Alright, wind tunnel upgrade. So... Excellent. So with that done, let's go and look at our points up here. So I kind of like adding to smoothness, but I think we might have to actually start increasing the control side of things. And I think we'll do that on both drivers, actually. Because mistakes are going to cost us, ultimately. Right. So we can't do any new parts development yet. We're 1 day away from side pod completion, though. So let's spin on 1 day. We have new side pod designs. Right, let's begin manufacturing. We need 4 of these. 10 days until the next one. It's not going to happen anytime soon. We could go emergency. Let's build 1 as an emergency. And then... Wait, hold on. Car 1. Side pods. Change to... Yep, there you go. And next we want to manufacture another one of these. We'll manufacture 3 under normal conditions because we'll have that in time for Spain. Excellent. Next up, we need to go and develop a new part here. So I'm tempted to actually design a new front wing again, on the basis that obviously we know where our focus is. So we could use all of our points to, again, be even more focused on it. So we spent all our points here, go for an additional boost to our front wing. And again, focusing on low speed performance. I mean, I'm generally okay with just continuing on the low speed performance increase because, again, Monaco. The question is, can we get this done quickly enough is another matter. 5 engineers, 42 days. 28 days if we do that. Unfortunately, I have a weird feeling we're not going to have this in time if we were to do this. Yeah, because we go Spain straight into Monaco. So, okay. New project then. Let's not do that. Let's instead go with the... We already have a chassis development project in thing. Maybe we can actually start working on our rear wing side of things, I guess. Which, of course, will help everything else out as well. Yeah, as much as I want to focus on the low-speed cornering side of things, I don't want to lose any ground because they're already kind of bad. So, okay, let's actually put this right to high speed. What happens? Helps out a little bit, ultimately. Or we can go for the aerodynamic side of things, which doesn't do that much. You know what? Let's do the thing I did a while back and just focus on everything. See what happens. Again, 5, and I don't mind rushing this a little bit just to see if we can actually get this done. So 39 days. Get the improvement on the car in time, move on. Facilities then. What can we actually still upgrade? Team attractiveness from a hospitality area increase, I guess. Mobility room doesn't really give us a lot. We're a long way back from car development facilities. Let's go for a simulator upgrade. More experience gain. It's got to be worth it. Okay, so we've manufactured the underfloors. And yes, we're low stock on these, so... two of these, normal development should be fine. Okay, the helipad is complete. We have basically spent all of our time upgrading the helipad, and now we have the ultimate helipad. Which, oh yeah, and 5% increase in reward money. So, you know, we'll take it. Alright, gearbox conditions we know about. Or at least I should know about. And hey, the door center's up to maximum level. And we've manufactured the front wings that we needed. So, next time we will do Spain. And after that, we will have the slow Monaco Grand Prix. Where we basically will... I'll probably do the practice sessions off stream. And then we'll just have the entire event. Maybe I'll do the qualifying runs, and then I'll do the main event all in one video at 1-to-1 speed. We'll see how it goes. But again, Agan wanted it, and you know that's the way it's going to have to go. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm going to save, and I'm going to say until the next time, folks. Catch you later.